Hello Proxies, it's your boy Josh, and 2.5 has brought on some insane updates. And with these new limited events comes ways to grab so many different characters, from the new Void Hunter Yashin Guang to confirm reruns, and even a whole new selector for some standard and older limited units. Honestly, just watching this special program, I can understand how people are excited, yet can even feel a bit overwhelmed at how many characters are potentially available for grabs here. But which one of these units is actually worth your time, and how do these new systems work so that you can actually grab said units? First, let's talk about the elephant, or should I say the Akalteke in the room?
Akalteke horse breed.
As Yashin Guang lands as the primary limited S-rank agent. It's no secret that she is absolutely going to be busted, and next week we'll have our early access guide hot and ready for you to see how she busts said moves. But for now, just understand that for most players, meta, waifu, and such, you should be considering Yashin Guang because at all levels, she is relevant. Other damage types like anomaly generally require another anomaly agent to disorder off of, or rupture, who are few and far between with resources. Yes, I know they just got a new event A-rank W engine this patch, but outside of that, the rupture class does not have the backing and history of the attacker class, which has so many resources in terms of budget and alternative W engine options, alternative drive discs, and so on and so forth. Yashin Guang is accessible at the beginner level, and for the more advanced, you can min-max her to become arguably one of the best and definitely flashiest DPS characters on the block. But what of her running mate, you may ask? Well, let's get into Xiao right now. Currently, Xiao is slated to be a healer, support, and even a sub-DPS all rolled into one. With her ability to put up the Ether Veil, it helps out Yashin Guang as well as other Ether Veil-oriented characters like Yidhari, for example. And alongside said Veil, Xiao is able to consume her own HP to grant a healing factor for the team, and with her gimmick, she is able to charge her large knife, which you'll swap to other characters, to unleash burst damage while you're working with the others, which is quite nice considering other supports generally don't provide such a feature, with the exception of Xiao's consistent tremolo and cluster hits. Yet, I forgot to mention that Xiao in version 2.5 will be a limited free agent for you to grab. So as long as you log in and claim her during the entirety of the patch, you can get a free copy of her. And for now, that moves Xiao way down to the end of the pull priority list, but that does not mean I don't value her, nor does it mean to sleep on her W engine just yet. Again, we'll be coming out with a guide on her and Lil Guang by the end of next week, so subscribe there now to get that as early as possible. Then let's set up the rerun characters, and this new formatted banner is actually a limited promotional rerun banner that has 3 different rerun units to choose from in Alice, Sambi, and Xiao. 3 units who, in their own right, are amazing value for the current day. However, the positives don't stop there, because with this specialized rerun banner, each of the units will be a guaranteed S-rank pull. Meaning, if you choose one of them as your highlighted character, then you will only pull them and none of the standards, which is absolutely nuts. The only drawback to this banner is that it has a separate pity system, and actually will be a separate pity system the next time this specialized rerun banner goes live, which might not be every update, so be wary. I'm not saying that this is a straight up trap, but just understand if that you are an F2P, or maybe you're just on the lower end of your budget for Polychromes, this might not be the banner to go all in on if you can't secure the character. And also, if you like the video right now, I actually have a special extra Polychrome code for you. Just hit that big old thumbs up button for me right now. Oh, you just didn't? Well, perfect. Here it is. And make sure to join our Twitch stream, as we are currently running a raffle for the $100 Polychrome pack. Yes, it's the largest one, to a few lucky viewers and community members over on our Twitch and YouTube live streams. But let's talk about character value. And it's no secret that Xiao comes as the same universal support that we thought she was and still is. And of course, you'd expect her to be one of Yashin Guang's premium support pairings, and outside of Xiao, you'd be correct. With a relatively simple build formula, accessible materials, and equips, Xiao at all levels is a solid support pickup and will slot in right after Yashin Guang at the second best pickup of the bunch, especially for those who do not have the Triforce of supports that include Astra herself, Yuzha, and our very recent Lucia. Then let's set up the third, and I'll be honest, this really becomes reliant on what you have, because if you are in need of anomaly services, you definitely are picking up Miss Time Field. Yet, if you are in need of electric firepower, then you're going to be looking at Soldier Zero Ambi, who actually just got a recent additional boost to her rework. Both are relevant in their own niches, and you can't really go too wrong. But if you are already picking up an attacker in Yashin Guang, maybe the anomaly unit might be the better pick for coverage, as we have a few other options for electric DPS. Yes, speaking of electric DPS characters and someone who actually is also anomaly, it's time to introduce the newly reworked and older limited units that are showing up in the limited film goers spending event, that being Grace, followed by Soldier, Burnice, and Qingyi, Jane and the rest of the standard cast of characters. First, let's start off with the awoken characters of Grace, Soldier, and Burnice, who all got substantial reworks to their kits and increased damage potential to match the modern day early 2026 content. With Grace, she's able to charge up her stacks with skills and then hold down the grenade tossing button to start spamming and chucking those things like hotcakes. She was a very underwhelming anomaly driver before, but now with her new mechanics, blooms to boot, and stronger multipliers, this has created a renaissance for the mechanic of Bellabog, and slots her up there with Yanagi as a strong on-field anomaly driver for electric attribute anomalies and disorders. As far as unique value out of the entire filmgoer cast, she might be my favorite pickup, especially when considering the spread of the premium or on-banner options that I just mentioned above. Then let's head over to the Soldier. Now, Soldier 11 does get stronger, yes, with her parries, near attack patterns, and more damage multipliers. She does get substantially more relevant DPS-wise, but it does not crack the damage potential that a Banya or even Evelyn can output, which makes sense. But as the proud owner of an M6 Soldier 11, I can say that with confidence, if she manages to fall into your lap, you will not be disappointed. Yet I can't outright advise choosing her for the pickup on the spending event because there just are better units that'll give you more value and coverage. Again, if you are in need of fire coverage, look for Soldier to now be able to fulfill those needs yet again. They don't call it a comeback, folks. Yet I know I just mentioned fire, but we're going back to back with Burnice as our off-field fire anomaly unit. Well, I can't really call her off-field too much anymore because she gains a whole new scaling factor, a new swap-in ability, and the ability to bloom. All these factors adding up to Burnice being an amazing pairing with drivers like Piper, Jane Doe, Alice, who you could pick up from the limited rerun banners, and other anomaly units. Burnice, with this rework, has allowed herself to catch up to the likes of the Vivians of the world. Yet, understand folks, that with fire in and of itself, it does not lend itself well to anomaly combat. Most fire-based enemies require stunners to get them dazed and tried and true attackers or ruptures to just hack and slash their way through, instead of relying on the elegance of attribute anomalies. But never fear, as Burnice is easy to build, easy to play, and can slot in with almost any anomaly teammate. So she isn't the highest on my pull list, but she definitely is a strong contender. For those wondering, I had to use older pre-rework footage of the awoken characters above. Yet I'm going to make a collective awoken potential guide for all 5 of these characters, so make sure you guys look forward to that over on the YouTube channel. I apologize, I just can't currently show them just yet, but again, make sure to turn on the bell for notifications when that video goes live. And lastly, let's round out this value list with the standard and older limited characters. Qingyi being the first I wanted to mention out of this particular cast because she's still relatively strong in stun value and provides very quick time to stun. And most stunners these days usually run on a budget Wenjin, but now you can actually pick up the teapot, which will only add to her overall team contributions. Next, we'll slot Jane Doe right next to Alice. The reason why I didn't put her lower like most tier lists would is because she now has a free skin. And pairing this fact with Jane herself being accessible vicariously through you spending for Yashin Guang or other limited reruns is pretty valuable to me. And let's be honest, this skin, we're all gooning to it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how Hoyo came up with this, but I'm surprised they're getting this risque. Then the older standard units are as follows. Lycon is the best out of the rest of the bunch for its flexible playstyle as a stunner mixed in with a few buffs that are relevant to many ice characters, followed by Rina, who would appreciate the M1 for the buff extension, and Kaleda, who would both have appreciated the Awakenings too, but the devs said they were working on it, so I'll cut them some slack. And that's it for the characters, but I wouldn't be making this holistic pull value video if I wasn't also going to talk about the W engines that come with the characters. That's right, with the new filmgoer system and of course the limited Wenjin options of the above characters, the fully integrated new Battle Pass shop system, you can either A, just pull on the limited Wenjins, B, either grab the limited spending event W engine by most likely spending over $100, which many of us are going to do anyways for the other on-banner units, so that basically comes packed in, or C, the slightly slower burn that is the new Battle Pass shop, and here you can exchange your puzzle pieces for 1 gold nugget core. We don't know the name of this as of the recording here, so let me know down in the comments. That nugget will contribute to one of the available W engines in this said shop, and you'll need 4 pieces to grab a engine of your choice, which should take around 4 battle passes. Again, quite the slow burner, but still welcome service to reward longer standing players. And as far as the on-banner Wenjins are concerned, Yashin Guang's weapon is looking to be very, very strong. However, as I mentioned before, she is an attacker, so if you do have a very, very strong attack stat stick, if you're running on a budget, might as well just swap in one of those. Xiao's might be one of the most unique, as we barely have any S-rank defensive units, and the signature weapons of Alice and Sambi are very, very strong with the corresponding characters. But out of these options, you should prioritize the offensive engines of the corresponding limited units if you are grabbing them. And this also trickles down to the spending event, aka if you do grab Jane Doe, grab her signature, or burnice with her Flamemaker Shaker, or if you are without a stunner Wenjin option, the Hellfire's gear is notoriously the best budget S-rank option out of the bunch, so more than likely grab that. Then you can go for items like the Steel Cushion that grant a very, very nice and generous 24% crit rate in the advanced stat. That can be utilized by attackers and even off stunners and rupture agents, simply for the fact that you can utilize the amazing crit substat. Then the other Wenjin corresponding with the units thereafter. Essentially, the idea is to go grab Wenjins that help you cover the field and give you the most value to pass around throughout your account. Because even though we'd like to highlight characters, their weapons are just as important. So don't sleep on the opportunity to grab these as well. And that will wrap it up for the new banner guide and pull value review. I hope I was able to break down these mechanics well enough, as I understand when it comes to a new patch and so many different ways to grab characters, it can seem overwhelming. And if you do feel the pressure of potentially not having enough polychromes, do not worry. I'm making a beginner and returner's guide by Monday, or a few videos after this one, depending on when you're watching this, so that you can get everything you need to know on how to obtain the most polychromes and pulls for the characters and items you want. And if you're in the mood for more Zenless Zone Zero gaming, I'm putting together a few more variety series as well as some ZZZ combat and gameplay series, so make sure to stay tuned for that. It's your boy Josh, and thank you so much for enjoying these guides. I hope to bring all y'all more fun soon, and make sure to join our Twitch streams where we're able to directly help you with anything you need. Join our community Discord to join our regional internet guilds for all NA, EU, and Asia, as well as our new co-op group channels. Again, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Matane.